In early 2015, Bandai released their first wave of Dragon Ball Shodo figures. The series garnered enough popularity to expand production and give us a second wave at the end of 2015. I bet you're asking yourself, but Andrew, it's 2017. Why review them now? Well, boys and girls, because I need that sweet, sweet YouTube revenue. Nah, just playing. Here we have Golden Freeza from Dragon Ball Z Revival of F. He comes packaged in a blister box, which features eye-popping carding. On the back, we get some cool dynamic poses and the other two figures in the wave. Let's take him out and make it rain. He has 3 sets of hands. 2 closed fists, 2 jazz hands, one with 2 fingers sticking out, and another one that I call trigger fingers. Frieza's tail is packaged as a separate piece, and it's easy to attach to the body. His body is molded in flat gold color, while his chest and armor is painted with a metallic hue. He also has some purple to him, with some parts painted with the same metallic hue. Overall, I would say this figure is aesthetically pleasing. One thing I noticed is that the figure is hard to stand because of the tail, so you will have to mess around to get him into some poses. Since we're on the subject, let's talk articulation. The head and the neck are on a double peg system, which is awesome for looking down, but looking up is almost non-existent. He can look to the left, he can look to the right, he has some pivot. His arms can extend out to an even 180 degrees, and he can rotate them 360 degrees. He has a bicep rotation, single jointed elbow, but you get 90 degrees with it. No wrist pivot, but it does rotate. There's no ab crunch, but the waist has a little pivot and it rotates. He can move his legs out about this far. He can move them up about this far. And he can move them back about this far. Having nothing in my collection to compare it to scale-wise is difficult to assess without bias. I don't like the fact that you can't look up into the sky, considering at any given moment a character from the Dragon Ball Z universe can take flight. The addition of an ab crunch would have helped out tremendously. So, buy it now, wait for a sale, or don't waste your time. I'm going to say buy it now or wait for a sale, and here's why. If you're new to collecting Dragon Ball Z figures and cannot afford higher end figures like Figurarts, then this is the perfect line to begin with. Not to mention Dragon Ball Super is gathering support among Dragon Ball Z and general anime fans. And let's face it, Bandai's focus on the US market is tied to the Power Rangers when it comes to 6-inch scale, so seeing Dragon Ball Z figures in that scale with competitive prices is about as likely as a good live-action Dragon Ball Z movie. That's my review. If you've enjoyed it, why don't you hit the sub button and ring the bell right next to it to get all the latest content updates. Also, leave a like, comment, and share. This is Andrew for Nerdy Collectibles, and remember, keep on collecting.